So I've got something important to share here. It's about healing, about timeline healing. So, when something happens, an incident that we are unable to deal with for whatever reason, we're too small, we're unequipped, under-resourced, maybe we're being dominated, bullied, or it's just outright dangerous and we have to get out of there. Something happens and we go into either a freeze, fight, or flight response. And we don't fully address the issue itself, or the fear, or the repercussions that come from this. So in essence, this becomes a frozen moment in time and gets pushed underneath the surface of ordinary awareness into the subconscious, the unconscious. It's like an iceberg. What was currently on the surface level of consciousness is now submerged. Now this submerged aspect of our being then enters an alternate timeline. So it continues to exist from the perspective of the trauma, the pain, the wound, the fear, and it creates an identity around this, a protective mechanism. So the protector protecting the wound, and this goes into the dark. I want you to imagine that this is kind of brewing over time, weeks, months, years, decades, and creates its own entity, its own force, its own behaviors, its own belief system. So it exists on an alternate timeline. Now many other aspects of you still moving forward as the tip of the iceberg, oblivious to this buried timeline. So there you go, 15 years later, something happens, a trigger, which brings an association to this previous earlier time of pain, wounding, abuse, terror, whatever happened to you back then. So it's triggered, it's reactivated, and that timeline then surfaces into the present moment. And very quickly we shift our state of identity from your present self into this old version of a self, which is reactive, it's afraid, might be dominant now, might be needy, might be out of balance, in chaos. So suddenly it surfaces, it brings itself up into the light of day, into awareness. Now I want you to imagine, visualize this, many frozen moments in time where we didn't fully live through an experience, and they've all created an alternate timeline. And these alternate timelines have got behaviors, belief systems, characters, and identities. So here we are in the present moment, going about our day. Could be something on the news, could be a friend, could be somebody who walks past us in the street who looks similar to an old acquaintance. And bam, the trigger goes. And the old timeline resurfaces. Maybe one of them, maybe two of them, three of them, like coming on different angles from different past points in time. So then we have this kind of weird experience of an identity where we're kind of here but not here. We're here but we're possessed by some older aspect of ourselves. Now I want you to realize the trigger is a gift. It's a gift because it releases something from the past that's not resolved, that's not integrated, that's not faced or felt into. And it's like round 10 of an opportunity to embrace it, face it, feel it, and heal it. To really meet it with new resources as a perfect father, perfect mother, as the integrated adult who can receive with compassion and love and presence and nourishment whatever it was that was wounded back in time. So whenever we're triggered, instead of moving straight out there into reaction with the person who, or the situation that's doing the trigger, instead of externalizing it, internalize and ask the question, what is this in me that's unresolved, that wants looking at, that wants feeling into, that wants resolving and healing and re-embracing. And if we can train ourselves to do this, like trigger inner work, trigger opportunity for transformation and integration, trigger thank you very much, life, for reminding me there's a part of me that I've left behind that wants my attention and my love and compassion and inclusion. So not to be afraid of triggers, and certainly not to blame the external and others and situations and circumstances, because that just reproduces and extends the timeline further to another point in time when it will resurface. There's not invitation to face it then. So what happens when we have faced and felt and integrated this diverse range of timelines? Well, more of us remains in embodied presence, here and now. More resourced, more educated, more compassionate, more empathic, more alive, more connected, more vital, more vibrant, more resonant, more attuned, because we have more of us, more of our soul, our essence, our truth, our heart, living here and now in the body, instead of frozen moments in time in the past, in the past, in the past. So this work is absolutely essential. Soul embodiment, heart embodiment, getting into full presence and power, into the real here and now, which is not going to be taken from you when there's an association and a trigger and a process from the unconscious. So we start to recognize that the triggers get less and less, our reactions get less and less. There's less material inside of us, which is worried, afraid, embarrassed, insecure, doubting. Just less of that is occurring in our system because we've integrated, we've taken off the protector mask and embraced the wound and integrated him and her back into the fullness of us. So we feel more full, more radiant, more alive. It's really interesting work, this, with timelines. We can suddenly be like 50 years old, then we're 20, 30, 5, 6, 7. It can happen in an instant. And it's an indicator where that frozen part of us lives in the psyche, in the unconscious. And it's an invitation: embrace, love, welcome home, integrate, harmonize, heal, feel, so you can be more and more of who you are in fullness. Thank you very much for listening. Happy integration, happy return to wholeness and full embodiment and full heartfulness. From me, Guy.